There we go. Okay, now we should have sound. Yes, that was for release earlier. Awesome. Can everybody hear me now? Thumbs up. Awesome. Great. Yay! As usual, there's always hiccups at the start, but I figured it out and we're good to go. So yeah, this is my lovely little streaming setup. I know the microphone quality isn't ideal, but it's what I have to work with right now. I'm doing this on a very low budget. I think this microphone was probably in the $20 to $30 range off of Amazon, and you know, I'm working off of my iPad for being able to see the chat and controlling the various scenes. And I have my iPhone hooked up as the camera. Yeah, it's a very bare bones setup, and the OBS is running on my Steam Deck, which is down here next to me, plugged in with the microphone dongle, because I remembered that it has the exact same plug as my tablet, so I was really easily able to attach the microphone in there. And maybe a bit later, I'll do some gaming. It handles basic games pretty well while I'm doing the streaming. I just can't do. Yeah, exactly. I'll add more things as I get the money for them. Let's just say I'll add them to my throne wish list and get the crowdfunding going. But right now, the top of my list is a lovely little running wheel for my cat, because you know, we live in a basement apartment and she doesn't get a lot of exercise. So I'd like to have a running wheel for her to be able to run on and take out some of her scramble energy, so she doesn't keep bouncing off the walls around here. That's why I've got my lovely little. When did I get a cat? We've had Anakin since last summer, not the summer this year, but the summer last year. She was born out at the farm that Bob was living at, and her mother and siblings all passed away, and so she was adopted as our little orphan Annie. Her name is Anakin, and maybe she will show up at some point. I know I've done a TikTok stream before uh, last year, and she did not like the idea of me talking to a camera, and so she hopped up and she started getting a little chompy with me. But yeah, Sparky knows that she can be a little bit chompy, but he doesn't mind. But yeah, so I'm able to play games on here. I can I can swap over to the gaming setup, and then I've got a little uh, kind of a be right back screen for if I need to take a break at any point, to refill my water bottle. Got to remember to stay hydrated. And Perry was helping me here to get my camera angle set up so that I knew approximately where I'd be sitting. Because when I'm not sitting here and I have to line up the camera, it's like I have to try and imagine myself sitting here. So, and of course, I'm streaming all of this from my lovely bedroom. Yes, I'm still with Sparky. Sparky's here, and yeah, everything is going all right on that front. But otherwise, Bob is living with us too, so we're all here together in the basement apartment, and that's fun. We kind of play musical beds sometimes. They take turns between the futon and here, and I pretty much have my set spot on my nice squishy memory foam mattress. This little area of the basement is my nice comfy place where I will sit and I will watch, streaming on my tablet. Maybe I can do some watch party, watch with me, react to streams, whatever. Um, I just have to figure out. Yeah, no, Sparky's not admin. Sparky's not admin. He's just keeping an eye, making sure that the quality isn't absolutely abhorrent. That was my major concern, because this isn't a computer per se that I am doing this setup on. Normally you'd expect a gaming computer to be something fancy and have a lot of powerful hardware in it, but this is, aside from being the highest end OLED Steam Deck that you can get right now, the 1 terabyte, I don't consider this to be heavy um, a very heavy unit. Like it's incredibly light, and I can unplug. And back. There we go. Now it should be back. Yep, Sparky's just helping me figure out I can't tell when it goes away without looking at my little mixer stuff. So I'm still learning what will and won't cause connection issues. But now I know unplugging the power from uh, my little through and through setup, because the microphone here, this dongle at the top, there we go. This dongle here at the top, that's the microphone receiver that's picking up my lapel mic. And then this is the power cord, making sure that my Steam Deck doesn't, the battery doesn't die while I'm doing this. And yeah, and then I have the little microphone here, and I can see the chat down here, and I can control my little controls over here. Yeah, I figured there would be a delay between what I'm saying and then it getting broadcast. So I'm glad that there's a little bit of a buffer, but yeah, it's great that there isn't a lag. I'm hoping there's no lag between the video and the audio. Like I'm not looking like a badly dubbed foreign film. Yeah, I that's a pretty much an understandable given from what I know of my streaming days many years ago in 2016, back when I used to stream on Periscope. But as long as I don't look like you know a badly dubbed foreign film, then I think it's otherwise excusable that there's a little bit of a delay between what you guys are able to see and what's actually happening live. So there's going to be a little bit of a weird echo going on for poor Sparky, but that's okay. I think now that I've got at least one other person here watching, it doesn't matter all that much. I don't feel so alone. I was just a little nervous because it's been a long time since I streamed, and I think yeah, Sparky is my third official follower since I got up and going again, switching everything over to Twitch instead of on Periscope. So I kind of got to build up my fan base. Not that I had a massive fan base beforehand. At least I'm getting back to the swing of talking to the camera. Yay, nervous rambling. No, I use humor as a coping mechanism, obviously, but I was incredibly nervous about doing the stream today. I had to do a little bit of a cognitive behavioral therapy journaling before I hopped on, because my anxiety was getting the better of me. I was getting, headache and feeling like I wanted to take a nap, but not actually being able to take a nap. No, I'm glad that you saw the post, and honestly, that's one of my um, biggest, I don't know, concerns is not promoting uh, my streams enough. Like I want to try and hit that sweet spot where I'm not like posting every single day, like, hey, I'm going to be doing a stream on Sunday. Hey, I'm going to be doing, this. I'm going to be doing this all the time. Because I don't know if this is something that I'm going to be able to do all the time. Right now I'm gonna try and stick with once a week, every Sunday. I'm hoping to do about 2 hours. Whether that ends up being sit and chat, talk for the whole time, or whether I end up switching over to play some games. One of the things I want to get figured out, which I think should be very easy for me to do, at least insofar as, oh, here's Anakin. Anakin! Yay! This is the baby. Say hi, baby. Are you a little bit confused? Please don't. It's a touch screen. Can you be careful? Yeah, a lot of my stuff is touchscreen, and I might have made the mistake of getting her to play with my tablet and other stuff when she was little. So she has absolutely no regard for, don't step on the touch screen. And that she will very much do that whenever I am trying to watch something, or just generally interacting with this area of things and not her. So I'm going to set this over here next to me, and actually I'm going to set it over here on top of my giant Cubone plushie, so that it's out of the way, and I still have this space in case Anakin wants to come up here. And it's Anakin, you're stealing the show, just like I hoped you would. I'm glad that you are helping me get my iPad out of the screen. That was one thing I was wondering about, was whether this was going to be too far in the shot or not. But I figured as long as it was in the bottom bit, and once it kind of zooms in to do the gaming portion, it's more of just my head up here, so it's not blocking anything out. But I'm glad it gives you something to play with, so you have incentive to come up on stream and be adorable. Come on up here. You want to come up here? No, you just want to sit down there, just enough in view that it's just your head poking into things, but not enough that you'll be full on in the shot. This cat is very photo shy. It's very hard to get a good picture of her. When you do, she's positively adorable for a good picture, but she doesn't like to sit still for them. So we're pretty much just going to get partial cameos. Unless I can maybe convince her. Come on. Come sit up here. Come sit up here. Littlest squeaks. No, she's affectionate on her terms, as all cats are. It's a very well-known saying in my world that, if you want a pet that's going to teach you about consent, get a cat, because they will very much teach you about consent and giving affection on their terms and nothing else. Are you going to curl up down there now? You're absolutely adorable. I wish you would, sit up here where people could see you easier. Maybe if I move Perry over, you'll sit up here. What do you think? No, you're just going to be a brat. There's nothing dilute about her tortitude. Nothing at all. Just going to sit down there and bap at my leg with her tail. Let me know that she's still there. Yeah, I'll have to get a second camera set up, specifically with a wide angle shot to show the little stink baby, because she will never stay up here anywhere near. She's just going to sit down there and be silly. So what do you think? Should I pop over and start playing some Card Shop Simulator? Should I start off my existing card shop, or start off a fresh one for the stream? I'm kind of leaning more towards, starting off a fresh one, just because, new stream, new foot. Oh, have you played that? Played TCG Sim before? I'm just gonna go along and start up a new one. If I'll exist, delete, and start a new shop. Yes, we are going to start up a new one. I'm just going to get it loaded in here. You called yours Effie's cardboard. Oh, that's a good one. I think my first one was called Vex Gaming, but anyway, here we go. We've got it all set up. I'll switch over to the gaming chat, and there we go. Here is our new card shop, and you know, obviously it's lagging a little bit, but I quit my day job to open up my own card game store. This is it. Time to get down to business. What are we gonna name it? What would be a fun name for a card shop that would also be you know, streaming themed? Because I'm doing this on my streams, so should I just stick with, you know, Vex Appeal? Sure, why not? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, back that up. Do proper capitalizations and non Vex Appeal. And done. That look good? Okay, let's go with that. Confirm the name. All right, open the phone and start on, oh, stock up on card packs. Do I even have a shelf? Yes, I have a shelf. All right, so we open the phone and stock up on card packs. How many should we get? 3, 4, let's get 3 for now. And purchase. And, oh yeah, I don't have those yet. Let's go open up our box and get this up on the shelf. This one, nope. There we go. Fill it all up. And then, of course, you need to remember to throw out our empty box. Out it goes. All right, pick a price and do what we normally do. Market price plus 10, round it, and done. Very simple. All right, and there we go. Now we're going to open it up and get some more on the shelf. These all filled up. And let's open for business now that we have stock. And I'm not going to man the cashier yet. I'm going to get this box opened up and put on the shelf. And I got room for 3 more boxes. So we'll put that in there. Go man the counter. Start making some sales. $9 and done. $4. Done. Just like that, I made 10 bucks. Only it was that easy, right? I mean, I haven't had to pay any bills yet. I don't even know how I got, you know, I don't know how I got this place. I don't know how I got my first day. I don't know how I got the connection set up to, you know, did the place come with cash register and all this setup? I don't know. But yeah, if it were this easy to get started and delivery was, you know, that fast, that instant, like literally you order the merchandise on your phone and you know, hit buy and you close the phone and you look forward and there's the order sitting in front of your building. you know, like some reality bending teleporter has just dropped it there, um, yeah, I think I would probably be able to run a business pretty easily. Like, look at this. I just made $51 from one guy that really wanted to buy trading card packs. I would definitely not be in the position I'm at right now. But who knows? Maybe as yeah, if I clicked my heels right, yeah, there's no place like crack. Yeah, exactly. If it were only that easy, then I would be all set, you know. But let's hop out here. Let's buy some more stock and let's buy some extra and open up some cards because my binder is empty. And I know another way of making money in this game is to sell extras. So we are going to sell extras as soon as I get that. And then I don't even think I have, nope, I have to be level 3 before I can sell extras. So knowing me, I'll make it there pretty quickly. I just have to remember to stay stocked. See, I've got guys coming up and buying some while I'm restocking. So there's no question there that there is definitely a demand for the supply. And eventually, oh yeah, okay, there we go. Hopefully the game audio is not too loud. I turned it down after a couple of my test recordings. But let me know if I need to turn it down more for the next time. I can probably go in and change the audio sound here too. Bring it down a bit. I know I had to turn the haptic feedback off because it was causing a clicking noise to come across in the stream. And I figured that would definitely be annoying. Anakin, I need to get a dedicated camera that's probably gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to get a maybe I'll borrow Sparky's phone next time. I'll just he won't be able to use his phone. I'll just set it up as a second camera up here looking down at the foot of the bed because Anakin is curled up right now at the foot of the bed with her eyes closed, pretending to sleep. And it's adorable beyond words. And I feel terrible that you guys can't see it. And of course, these poor bastards here trapped inside the game can't see it either. But that's okay. They don't know that life outside of this universe that they exist in, where they're buying cards, and that seems to be the only thing important. Buying cards, definitely not showering. As you can see, that guy had a stink cloud coming out behind him. One of the first things I'm going to get before I even bother getting any gaming tables is I'm going to get one of the anti-stink machines because I don't want that ruining the overall appeal of my business. I get that, you know, sometimes things fall by the wayside, but you're going to be hanging out in a confined space for any length of time with other people. Please, please take care of your hygiene. Yeah, I mean, crowdfunding is going to be my main means of getting any kind of expansion for my setup here because all of my day job money right now is going towards rent and making sure that my internet bill stays on and making sure that my phone bill stays on and all that fun stuff. So yeah, if my fans want to improve my overall streaming experience by donating towards particular hardware upgrades. My throne wish list is going to always remain on my page, and it's a nice, safe, secure way to for me to crowdfund my various improvements. Now it wants me to open up more packs, so let's see what we get here. Of course, they're all going to be new. I would love to I'd love to have enough of a audience, enough of a generous audience at some point to play a little game, because I know this game especially has a lot of little tidbits and whatever, and I think it would be fun if I was able to find somebody out there who was willing to, I don't know, match the random choice or random number generation of the card pack value. Like, obviously I wouldn't expect some of the card values in this game get absolutely obscene, and like you'll see what I mean if you if you haven't played this game before. But if you have played this game, look, there's already a lineup showing. But yeah, some of the card values in this game can get ridiculous, and that's one of the things that I've never really understood about trading cards, is the absolute obscene amounts of value that get assigned to some of these unique, I guess I'm answering my own question. There is the reasons that some of them get into these obscene valuations is because of their uniqueness. They are a one-time print, or they are a one-time misprint or something like that. And I'm going to do the smart thing here, and I'm going to get the bigger pack, because bigger pack is bigger value for my money when it eventually gets around to the shipping fees. So I always get the bigger boxes, because I always want less in the way of shipping at the end of the day. That's one of the things, is I never make orders on Amazon for less than $35, because if you order over $35, you get free shipping, or at least you have the option. Okay, I thought that was empty. I'm glad that it gives me a nice little warning there, because I would hate to throw out extra merchandise this early on and waste the money, because I'm almost at level 3, which means I can buy ticket or the table to sell individual cards at. And I think they've added a few different things to this game recently, like the players will eventually, or the NPCs will eventually want to start trading cards with you. Like they'll want a specific card, or they'll be wanting to sell a card to you, and just stuff like that. Put that over there. It's been a long time since I've started off a fresh game, so I forgot how much extra room there is when you start out. Like it's really easy to fill up this space, but a little expensive. What are you talking about? A little expensive? Did the price of this go down? Market price round? Nope, it didn't change in the least. So I don't know what you're complaining about by the price being a bit too much. You're just gonna have to suffer through it, because I'm not bringing that down below a round dollar. I don't want to have to deal with extra change right now. That's not a thing that even though, you know, the cash register does all of the math for me, I'm not farting around with all these little piddly ones down here at the bottom. They might as well not be here on my game, because I'm not farting with that. I will worry about that if and when I have an NPC working the cache in my other game, which, you know, I might swap over to at some point, because I do have that on a separate save file. Like if I go in here, and I go to save, yeah, you see over there is the other one, but that's the auto save that hasn't auto saved yet. But yeah, that's my other one that I've been playing a lot longer, and I have a lot more in that one, and I will probably end up returning back to that either on stream or on my own time. I don't need to get this guy change. That's green. That's good. Out you go, sir. Half an hour left on there. And wow, I've already been going for half an hour on my stream so far. How time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. So we will keep going, and maybe when it gets to an hour mark, I'll take a short break for myself. Again, I did not need to be giving this person change. I would just be giving money away. I'm getting so distracted and caught up with carrying on a conversation with my chat and my onlookers that I'm not paying attention to cash register. That's very, very typical of me. I'm the kind of person who has trouble chewing gum and walking at the same time. I can do one thing really well, but you try and throw multiple things at me at once, and the more you throw at me, the worse the overall quality of everything is going to end up at the end. I guess that's why I've always kind of favored automation and trying to uh, find ways to make things simpler and less, you know, um, intensive on my own brain, because I have very limited CPU capacity to dedicate to different tasks. It says it wants me to buy a play table and put it in the shop. So I guess I will end the day first, see how I did without one. And yeah, I lost money, but day 2 we are gonna hop in here and we're gonna buy a play table, just the one for now, and we're gonna line it up next to the window so that people can see that we've got gaming in here now. Wrong button. Pull the trigger. There we go. Yes, we're open. And it wants 10 people play. So I'm going to move this around a bit now. And that over there. And let's get this going again. See if we can make up for the money that we lost yesterday. Which, while I think about it, probably also pushing buttons wildly. Pay my bills. See, this is one of the new things that they added, is they will want to trade or sell cards. And I will give him an offer. And for some reason, it is not letting me put an offer. Here. Nope. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me bring up my usual on-screen keyboard. So I have to make sure to tab over to the amount. So he's asking $13.86, market price is $11.51. I'm gonna offer him $12, and he doesn't want. Well, let's see. No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sell it for profit. So his asking price is a little too steep. I don't mind passing this early on, because I will always make it back later. And again, I'm mixing up my buttons, because there's so many different button combinations, and for some reason it's not showing up with my little button help. But that's okay. I'll get it figured out. I will survive. Hey, hey. And why don't I get another table and get that set up so that I can reach my goal that much closer. It wants 10 people to play, and it's not going to count them until they have gotten up. See, 2 people that have played, and 1 person waiting. And I guess I can open up. There we go. Open up some more card packs. See if I get a rare one. Nothing massively rare. And soon I'll be able to bundle up and sell the bulk. Yeah, I can talk, I swear. Soon I'll be able to bundle up the bulk as well. And get more merchandise. I mean, I can probably get more merchandise already. I'll check that at the end of the day. In the meantime, keep it simple. Keep the money going in. Have you changed your mind? Well, you're asking a little bit less for that one, so let's see if you will take $3. No, because that's below market price. He's going to want above market price. So I will try $3.25. Oh, no, you're not going to get more than $3.25. I don't think so. That was above market price. I'm not going to be doing a bunch of markup at my store. Hello, welcome. Oh, good. Another gamer. So we'll get that filled up even closer. We'll get that to 10. And why don't I check out this and see... Oh yeah, I don't have enough. I don't have enough for much of anything right now. So we will not worry about getting anything else until we've got some more money. Maybe go through the stock of cards that we already have. because we already know that we're selling these for above market value, so we're already gaining a profit on those. And as long as we keep making a profit, we'll keep being able to pay our rent, and the game will keep going. Because obviously, if you can't pay your rent, eventually it will be game over. I don't think this game has a get out of bankruptcy free, other than, restarting the game. So nice little fallbacks of doing this kind of thing in a game is, you can try it out, see how much you actually enjoy doing this kind of thing. Obviously, like I said, I'm good at doing one thing very reliably, and I think having to manage a full store on my own, like a full physical store, and having to keep track of the stock and having to keep track of, you know, the cash register and the game's prices, and making sure, because like every time that these guys stand up, thing, money magically pops in. They don't have to come over to the counter and pay the money like these guys do when they're buying the cards or merchandise or anything like that. They just sit down, wait for somebody to sit down with them, they play their game, and then as soon as they stand up, the money is automatically removed from them and given to me, which is, it's entirely possible to do, I suppose, in our modern day of technology, but it's not something that the game really explains how it's happening. You just kind of have to suspend your disbelief and come up with your own logic behind how it's happening and what's happening. An interesting little psychology. Excuse me, sir. Um, yeah, some of these NPCs behave really oddly, I find. Like they will fully walk behind the counter like this, for no reason. Like their pathing just happens to take them behind the counter, so they go behind the counter, and it's very off-putting because, in every store I've ever been in, social rule dictates that you don't, as a customer, just willy-nilly walk behind the cash register. That's something you don't do in a regular store. So seeing the NPC pathing right up to me while I'm working at the counter is like, excuse me, sir, can you not do that? And pardon me for assuming you're honorific. That's, it's something that is, I'm working on it. I will try and not do that. I'm gonna stick to buddy, pal, comrade. Showing my true colors here, wink wink. But yeah, it takes me back when the NPC will whoop right back through here, like, no thank you, can you not? Maybe I'll even move the counter so that the pathing is in no way training them to do that. Is very uncomfortable. Yeah, we're gonna move this, rotate it around, go over by my little door here, go rotate it back into the corner, nice little stockroom corner. Yeah, there's no reason for any of you guys to go past this point behind here. This is my safe zone. I'm the boss here. You guys stay on that side. I'm glad we could work this out. Thank you for understanding, and I look forward to improving this side of things in the future. In fact, why don't I make this a little bit better so you guys can see the merchandise easier, get to what you came here for. I trust you not to steal anything. I don't think they've implemented that as a mechanic. I'm just going to put that over there so that guys like you can decide whether or not you're going to stink closer. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't entirely paying attention to the updates when they first added that in, because it caught me by surprise when I loaded it in a couple days ago, and it's like there's a big exclamation point over the customers' heads. I wasn't expecting it. Like it wants me to buy a card table. So is that saying it wants me to buy the... Oh, now this is glitching. Anyway, there we go. So the card table, that's the play table. So yeah, it wants me to buy the card table now that I finally have enough. And yeah, fill it up with. Yeah, I know. This is this is an early access, early release game. It's still very much in development. I actually started. There's the streamer that I started watching, like playing this, and the reason why I ended up getting this game. He actually has a plushie that the developers programmed into this game, and I think that's a really cool thing. Like I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little bit emotional here because I think the partnership between game developers and game streamers is a really important one, because without game developers, game streamers would have nothing to play. And what's a great way to get your game out there and known by a lot of people is to have a streamer with a big fan base play your games, right? So when, a streamer gets to the point where, they're popular and they're playing your game, and you want to show your appreciation for them playing the game, having a nice little Easter egg like, a plushie of them or for sale within the game is just absolutely adorable. And I'm really happy that the developers did that, and being able to watch the reaction when the streamer found that for the first time, completely unawares, because you know the devs went so far as to I'm going to show you here. You have to be level 12 to even unlock it, but they hid it behind a little question mark so that, sorry, so it wouldn't be spoiled for him. And I think that's a really cool thing for them to do. Yeah. Sorry. Whew. I think I'm gonna have to uh, take a little break for a second just to compose myself, because talking about that was um, a little more emotional than I thought it was gonna be. So I'm gonna take a quick little break, because because yeah, I've almost been going at this for an hour, so I'm going to take a little 5-minute break, and I will be back shortly. And I want to thank everyone for everyone who's been here so far, and interacting, and yeah, it's it's been a lot of fun so far, and I promise I will be back very shortly. I'm just going to take a little break, have something to drink, and go from there. And we're back. Okay. So, yeah, I needed to go out and take a little leg stretch breather there just to recompose myself. But yes, I am back with the weather report. It is definitely the start of winter. It is cold as balls in my garage, and any time spent out in my tent in the backyard is going to require the wood stove to be on and fully stocked. it it's not staying below freezing at this point, but it's definitely staying in the single digits. Celsius, not Fahrenheit, for my American friends. I thankfully thankfully single digits Celsius is not the same as single digits Fahrenheit. I think it's the way I like to remember it is 100 degrees Fahrenheit is kind of like okay for a human, but 100 degrees Celsius is definitely not. And there we go. Got all of my singles set up and ready to sell. All of these $3 ones are not going to be for sale for very much longer once I'm able to do the bulk bundles, because I will absolutely bulk bundle up anything that is under $5 just to get it out there that much faster. Because there's going to be so many of them that are under $5 that I might as well just get them out and get them gone. Making sure I turn down my external game audio so that you guys can still hear the game audio coming through the OBS, and I can still hear the game audio coming out of the speaker, but you can't hear the game audio coming out of my lapel mic. Because there's no need for you guys to be hearing the game audio twice. If I had nice, comfortable headphones, I'd probably be using that. Maybe someday I'll get a nice pair of Bluetooth headphones, because my Steam Deck supports Bluetooth. But until then, I'm happy with my setup, and I'm happy with the input that I've gotten so far. Sparky's been watching, and he was able to give me honest input as to how well it's looking, and Bob is sitting over there gaming with him, so they're able to give me their I'm not going to say unbiased, because they're my partners, so obviously they're a little bit biased, and they're entitled to their own opinions and their own biases, just like I'm entitled to mine. But yeah, I'm doing the thing I normally do in real life, which is just kind of like stand around and then pace while I talk. So I'm very much staying true to myself, and just being myself while I'm gaming here. So let's end the day and see how well I did. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna check on over here and see. Okay, so I have to be level 5 before I can get the stink spray, and I have to be all the way up to level 10. Oh, I forgot how long it takes get to being able to bundle cards. So yeah, I just have a whole bunch of, I don't think, oh yeah, I can do these now. So I will, I'm not going to get that yet because I'm going to need to pay my bills tomorrow. So I'm just going to start the next day, and it's auto saving. Yes, the ADHD is real. I'm definitely, I've definitely got at least the one extra letter in there. I'm definitely the odd AUD HD because there's definitely, my doctor says I'm artistic. At least that's what I think she said, and I'm not going to question it any further than that. Because there's no point where I'm at right now with getting any sort of official documented diagnosis. My boss for my day job knows and as is a doctor herself, and she has an autistic son, so me getting an official diagnosis wouldn't change anything as far as, work accommodations or anything like that. As far as she's concerned, she is being as accommodating as she possibly can be, and you know, in her own way, she is, but he still doesn't fully understand that, a lot of the reasons why I am struggling with, some of the things that I'm struggling with at work is because I am overwhelmed with stress. Our hours have been cut back a lot since the pandemic, and that is causing me to have financial stress at home and being able to, make sure that my bills are covered and make sure that I have money left over for self-care, because, you know, self-care on a $0 budget is increasingly difficult in the world I live in. It's not impossible. There are hundreds of ways that I can engage in self-care that don't cost me any money, but they do cost me in other ways, such as, additional physical effort or, you know, additional emotional effort of having to ask other people to help or do specific things. It takes an emotional effort to put yourself in that position where you're asking someone else to help you with something because, yes, you could do it yourself, but by having them do it, it is taking that burden off you. And so, you know, we should be able to unburden ourselves to the people who care about us and not have to worry that putting ourselves in that kind of a vulnerable position is going to cause us to be hurt. And when you've been in relationships before where you've put yourself in a vulnerable position and, the person hasn't reacted in a positive way, they've reacted in a negative way, to that vulnerability for whatever reason and hurt you, whether they meant to or not, it reinforces your survival instinct to, well, I guess I'm not going to put myself in that kind of vulnerable position again because it's not safe to do so. The more times you the more times that happens, the more it reinforces that pathway in your brain. And unfortunately, the only way out of it really is through it and just continuing to put yourself out there and putting yourself into those vulnerable positions so that you can have the opportunity to have that assumption challenged and proven wrong. Yeah, the pandemic ruined a lot of things. It ruined a lot of people's, you know, ability to connect with others because we were so locked up and made, with good reason, to be fearful of gathering closely with large crowds, that, it's going to take time before we figure out how to do that safely again and do that in a way where, we minimize the risk of hurting other people, because gathering together and being around people closely is a positive thing. We are a social creature, humans, and so we want to be around other people and we want to play games, we want to interact, we want to share, but we need to do it safely because there are things out there just in nature, in the world. There are bugs, there are viruses, there are, just opening the door and going outside in nature, there's that big flaming radiation ball over us during the day that is cooking our DNA. Like, you know, that glorious thing that gives us life and makes it possible for us to be here is also slowly killing us as we enjoy it. But we've developed ways to reduce that risk and be able to survive longer and get more enjoyment out of that flaming death ball, and just everything in general. And I think that's a real testament to, human ingenuity and human resilience, is our ability to think up ways to, you know, get better and make our lives better and the lives around us better. Like this guy whose asking price for this card is well below market price. It's a full $1.40. Yeah, it absolutely sucks when a place that you used to have that was safe to you at one point isn't safe anymore. That it hurts because you've built up memories and you've built up a connection to that place, and you to have that change and to no longer be able to go back to that the way that it was. It can take time to process and it can take time, but that's, you know we have to be thankful that we do we have to be thankful when we are afforded that time to process, because we have no idea how much time we do have. So we have to make sure that we are taking the time, like, you know, I made sure that that was one of the things that I did before starting up the stream today. One of the very last minute things that I did as I was, preparing, making sure in my head that I'll be good to go for doing the stream tonight, was to make sure that I had a little be right back uh, waiting screen, similar to my uh, like starting soon, but making sure that it was a little bit different, so that I could, pull it up if I need to take a break, and just making sure that I'd given myself permission and acknowledge that, yeah, it might not be realistic for me to sit here for 2 straight hours and just be able to talk and carry on a conversation or a coherent train of thought without having to stop and take any breaks. I'm surprised I made it a full hour before, having to step away, and I'm glad that I did take that time to step away. But, you know, that's something that a lot of people forget, is to take breaks and to step away and to give themselves permission to slow down and process what's going on, to make sure that they aren't rushing in to what they're doing just because they think that there's a sense of urgency and that they have to get it done right this second. Because often that sense of urgency is manufactured. We have a lot more time than we think we do. I mean, if you had asked, 15-year-old me, what are you going to be doing when you're 35? I would have laughed, because I didn't think that far ahead. I was barely thinking to, what are you going to be doing when you're 18? Because that seemed so far away. Because, at the time, 2 years would have been 1/8 of my entire lifespan at 16. Because that's math. I've been doing math practice on Duolingo, and it's kind of helped me become a little bit faster with stuff like that, like just simple mental math. And, you know, 1/8, when you look at it visually, there's 1/4. So 1/8 is half of one of those card packs. But compared to 4 card packs, a half a pack is still, it's an appreciable amount of cards. Whereas, you look at a full shelf here of 32 cards, none of these shelves are full, but even like look at one of the more full shelves, a half a card pack on one of those full shelves is nothing in comparison. So, in the grand scheme of things, we've got a lot more half card packs than we think we do. So, it's okay to spend a few of those card packs just stopping to enjoy or not enjoy and just process. It doesn't have to be a big rush from start to finish. You can take time to make mistakes and figure things out, and still eventually you'll get to the end, or you'll get to that $44.50 card eventually. You just have to keep trying. You might get to the end of the night and nobody showed up to play with you, and the owner's got to tell you, sorry man, we're closing up, time to head home, but you can always come back tomorrow. Maybe somebody will come by tomorrow. And yeah, as easy as that to start the next day, because that's one thing that is constant. Another day is going to start. This day is going to end. Eventually, I'm going to make it to 2 hours of streaming. I've made it to an hour and a half now. And, I'm starting to feel it. I can feel that I've been talking out loud almost nonstop, which is not something that I have done recently. I used to do it a lot when I used to stream before on Periscope. I used to talk. I actually used to sing on my Periscopes. I was a lot less worried about um, content strikes and, not being able to monetize or whatever. And so I would have my Spotify going in the background. Thank you. Cheers. Always remember to hydrate. I did make sure I filled up my water bottle beforehand, so that I would take a drink. And I always appreciate it when I am reminded to hydrate, because I do get very easily distracted. Like, I haven't even put my sign over to start a new day, and I should probably order more stock. And I'm actually going to grab this and get 2 boxes of those, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty this shelf and put it up here. Empty this shelf and put it up here. He's helping me empty that one. And then I'm going to put these on this shelf here. And start selling these as well. Markup +10, round and done. And there we go. This one, however, I'm not going to sell. I'm gonna grab it. I forgot to open it. Open it up. If I open it up and then put it over there, then I can grab out of it. Get back to selling and making money. And I gotta remember to pay my bills after this. This guy, ooh, big order. Thank you. I always appreciate the big orders. I don't think there's tax in this. And what do you want to do? He wants to sell me for above market price. No, I'm sorry. I only take deals from people who don't know what their cards are worth. Sorry, you're a smart person who's selling it for more than market price. So you should maybe open your own shop. one of the things that I'm hoping to do with my stream is to encourage other people to get into it, because you know I think it's a good thing to to share my experience and my knowledge, and just to let other people know that this isn't something that is only reserved for a specific group of people or a specific type of person. I want people to know that anyone can be a streamer, and anyone can play games, and have a face cam, or they can play games and not have a face cam, and they can just enjoy sharing content, no matter what kind of content that they want to share. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, like I was saying before, I had to do some of my cognitive behavioral therapy journaling, because I was my body was physically telling me that if I do not process what I'm feeling right now, that I am going to hurt myself. And, whether I wanted to or not. And so I acknowledged that fact, and I took the time to journal about it, and to write out my thoughts, and to process how I was feeling, why I was feeling that way, and basically to talk myself through it. And it let me calm down to the point where I felt confident that I could do this. And it worked. I've been able to sit through an hour and a half of streaming, and whether or not I make it to my full 2-hour goal, I've made enough progress that I can confidently say I'm proud of what I accomplished tonight. And um, I've been um, I'm glad that I got the 1 terabyte Stream Deck, because that affords me the hard drive space to be able to record my streams as I am streaming them. So there will be a video to upload to my YouTube channel afterwards for anyone who wasn't able to catch this stream, so that they can still take part. Um, I don't want to say posthumously, because, I mean, I guess that is an apt word, because if you're not taking part in the live stream, you're taking part in the dead stream, you're taking part in it posthumously. So, yeah, there will be a posthumous record of my stream on my YouTube channel, which will I'm not gonna nope, not gonna finish that thought, because I, I I'm not gonna take another break this soon. I've only been going for half an hour, and uh, yeah, no, we're gonna redirect, and we're gonna stay on a positive note for a little while. Uh, I figured out while I was taking my 5-minute break earlier what I'm going to name the title of my YouTube video. Because, of course, that's always something you have to figure out when you're posting uh, a video, or literally anything to social media these days. Is what is your video title, or what is the text content of your post? And I'm gonna do the little devil on my shoulder thing, and I'm gonna go with the clickbaity title. So it's probably gonna be something along the lines of Twitch streamer breaks into tears, something along those lines. because I definitely did that right before I took the break, because I was talking about the plushie and the whole collaboration between gamers and game developers, and one of the reasons why I got into this and why I love this so much. But that is definitely something that I'm not going to shy away from on my channel. Is I'm I'm an emotional guy. I have emotions, and they're something that is always going to be a part of me, and I don't want to lose that. And I think that more guys out there need to give themselves the permission to acknowledge that part of themselves, to say, I'm an emotional being, I have emotions, and that's not a bad thing, you know? One of the reasons I stopped streaming back in 2016 was because it got really toxic. Chat got really toxic. There were a lot of trolls that were coming into my streams and saying really mean, nasty things because I had just like that year come out as transgender. And so it was a very hostile world to do that in. And doing that online was not something that I was ready for. So I'm absolutely plan on having heavy, heavy chat moderation. I have a zero tolerance policy for anyone being hateful or outright malicious in my chat. That's not going to happen. This is going to be a safe space, and the haters can go take their stuff over to 4chan or lolcow or wherever they want to rage about me and what I do, who I am. I don't care. They're not going to do it on my platforms. If they want to find me in real life because they have the cojones to do that and the time and effort to put that money in, then by all means, I will have a confrontation face to face. If you want to be mean to me to my face, that's how you're going to do it. And that's pretty much the only outlet that you are going to have. I have like the only way I could think of at this point that they would be able to slip through anything that has any sort of digital moderation is if they wanted to send something to my PO box, because I have one of those. I have it set up in the little stream box where if you type in exclamation point PO box, it will show up the address to my PO box, because it's not gonna link to anything that's going to jeopardize my safety. But if anyone wanted to send me hate mail to my PO box, that's fine. I already have a plan on what I'm going to do with that. I mean, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to open it over on my Fansly. That's for those of you who don't know, that's an adult streaming site, much like OnlyFans. And I'm going to do some very inappropriate things with the hate mail. So yeah, that's my plan. And yeah, that's one of, believe it or not, that's one of the things that I thought about, uh, because my mind likes to go to very dark places and then come up with contingencies to how I'm going to handle the world actually going to that place. Because yeah, my world has gone to dark places before. So my brain has been trained through experience that $90 cards don't show up very often. And you got to figure out what you're going to do with the 1-cent cards burning a hole in your pocket until those $45 cards come out of the pack. And you know what you're going to do with the stinky people that are in your store while they're here. You know, I'm gonna, I guess, check and see. Yeah, I can problem solve this. We can handle our problem with stinky mofos bringing down the store. But eye on the prize first. We've got our primary goal of successfully completing 100 checkouts. Whew. Look at this guy walking in here with 150 bucks. Good job, sir. Thank you for spending all that money at my store. I greatly appreciate it. Share the wealth, comrade. Again, I apologize, comrade, for assuming. And you, friend, allow me to give you some free hygiene. And I'm just gonna set this down for a second. Back in the box. While I clear off a shelf. Because it seems there is a need in my community here for some hygiene products. So we are just going to clear off some shelves here so that I can make this available to the general public. Now that I've offered the free sample, I can make a bit of income as well by promoting good hygiene and make sure that my cards are restocked here so that I've got that coming in. I got to remember that I don't have to go all the way over and hit the market price button. I can just do plus 10% because it defaults to market price. When you do that the first time, and there we go. We got another $5 card. And I think this one will probably mark up to be another $5. Nope, $4. Oh, it's so shiny though. I don't understand. I don't understand the rarity rankings of these cards. It's the end of the night. And Buddy Boy here is all by his lonesome. What do you think? Should I can't get in behind the, I'll have to move these out a bit. So I can get in behind there. Otherwise I won't be able to spray people down. So, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave so I can rearrange these tables. Apologize. But just a temporary measure. There we go. And once I get this expanded out, I'll be able to fit another table in there. But I'd say we're doing pretty good for now. Made it to day 4. You like to spray them right in the face? I mean, I normally, because in my other shop, I've gotten to the point where I have the fully automated sprayers. I've got the big ones. I've got one set up there, and I've got the second room opened up there, and I've got another sprayer right inside there, and I've literally got double sprayers on both entrances. So it doesn't matter. They've greatly improved the sprayers since the very first time they were introduced, because when they were first introduced, they were completely ineffective. Like, you had to double and triple up those auto sprayers for them to make any sort of difference. Like you were still having to chase after people to give them a second spritz. And they've definitely upgraded the sprayers to the point where I'm hoping that when I get the base model one in and I put it there, that it will catch them going in on one spray, and it'll make it worth the money that I'll be shelling out to get that, because I hate having to offer the free samples myself, because it's one more thing that I gotta come out of my way, out of here, pick one off the shelf, and come up and spray the stanky mofo, when it would be easier if they could just come in as they're walking in. The automator detects that they're got a little bit of a BO issue. Maybe if I could even program it to give a little, have a free sample, thank you very much for coming into my shop, little automated welcome message, just to kind of apologize for having to spray them down. But I mean, we don't know what's going on in their lives. We don't know why they're coming in with that smell. Sometimes people they've got a lot going on, and they don't have the time or the energy or the emotional um, capacity to feel like they're worth it, or they might not even have access to a shower, because yeah, you can use wet wipes, you can use a sink and a face cloth and some soap, and give yourself a little towel bath. But there's something to be said for comfort and dignity, and you know not everyone is at peace with living in extreme austerity. There are, obviously there are people out there who are born in that's the only thing they've ever known. They have no idea that sit-in tubs exist, or that showers with hot running water exist, just because they're born in a place where only someone of extreme privilege has access to that sort of thing. And so they don't know any better, and when they find out that that sort of thing exists, it becomes this sort of goal, like, I'll know I've made it in life when I'm able to clean myself in luxury. You can tell a lot about somebody by what makes them emotional, what their goals are, what their ideals are, what they are willing to work hard for. Because people don't necessarily work hard for things that they already have. The things that they already have, or the things that they've always had, is just a fact of life for them. And so why would they work hard for that thing when they know that it's just going to be there, whether they work for it or not? And so I don't like to think of people as being lazy. I like to think of people as being taken care of, or as being privileged. They've had the privilege of always having that thing available to them, or always had, that thing come easy to them. So they don't understand when someone else struggles, or when someone else doesn't have that thing, because they can't personally conceptualize not having that thing. And so, you know, that's a great deal of, it's something you have to learn, is how to acknowledge when you have a privilege, when it's something that you have that someone else might not. Because and we won't always know what those things are until we find out, oh, some people don't have that, or oh, this person doesn't have that. And there's not anything necessarily wrong with them or wrong about it. And we assign judgment to a lot of things that don't need judgment assigned to them in that sort of sense. Because just because someone doesn't have something, it doesn't necessarily mean they can't have it, or they will never have it, or there isn't another way for them to do what needs to be done or what they want. And what we need to try to figure out is how we can get to that place of understanding where we can figure out what we want and what we need and what other people want and what other people need, and how we can get those to other people. And I think on that note, because I've gotten to almost 2 hours, I've gotten to an hour and 53 minutes and counting. I'm going to take these last few minutes to kind of do a little sign off and thank everyone who has been sitting here watching for the live, and thank everyone who has watched this far through the posthumous recording stream video, and say that if you want to make sure that you're there and stay up to date on what's going on with me, the easiest way to do that is to follow me on the socials. I know I'm doing the shameless streamer thing, the plug at the end. Congratulations, you've reached that point. I'm proud of myself for sticking through and doing this. Follow me on my socials, subscribe for more, and I will catch you all on the flip side, okay? Thank you. And ooh, good night.